Hello kids, welcome to our Newton Gate Academy, where we make your dreams come true. I am Shweta Chakravarti, your computer teacher, and today I am going to discuss another interesting topic regarding the output questions. In the last video, I have discussed regarding the paper pattern of Computer Science ICSE board. Okay, so in that I told you that in section A, the second question number 2, it contains some output question. Even in MCQ also you will see some output questions are there. So today we are going to discuss regarding the output questions related to looping chapter. Okay, let's start. So here you can see that I have written a code. Okay, in the following code I have written some set of instructions. So we have to evaluate this code, and then only we can get the output. So before writing the output, you should go through the question properly. Means in output question, some more question can be asked, that how many times the loop is going to execute, or write down the execution, or write down the output. So if just it is asked to write down the output of the code, then you can simply write down the output of it. But if it is written there, show the execution part also, that in that case you have to show the execution part also. It becomes mandatory for you to mention the execution of the code. Clear? So before solving the problem, the first thing is to analyze the question. Means what are the questions being asked and what are the things we need to answer. Clear? So before discussing about the execution of the code as well as the output segment of the code, let's discuss regarding the program. Let's see what is the code written over here. Okay, so here's the code: void test int a comma int b. Clear? So here I have defined one function, one user defined function whose name is test. And its return type is void. Void means no return value. The function will not return any kind of value. Inside test function, I am passing two parameters. What are those parameters? A and B. And these two parameters belongs to integer type. Clear? Now, after that, I have defined a while function, a while loop. In while loop, I am passing A is not equals to B. So, hope you all know that there are two types of loop: entry control loop and exit control loop. Entry control loop are the loop which first checks the condition, and if the condition is satisfied, then only the control get inside the loop and execute the further statements given inside the loop. But if the condition is false, then it will directly terminate. But in case of exit control loop, it firstly evaluates the expression and then checks the condition. Okay. So now here I am just considering that the value of A is not equals to B. Clear? So means the condition is satisfied. So if the condition is satisfied, the control will get inside the loop. Now what is the statement written inside the loop? That we have to evaluate. So what is written? If A is greater than B, means whatever the value we are going to pass for A and B, that will be, in case of output question, the value will be given in the question itself. On the basis of those given value only, you will have to evaluate the output. Clear? So suppose the value of A is greater than B, then if block will be executed. But in case the value of A is not greater than B, then the else block will be evaluated. Clear? Now after evaluating the value, it will print the value of A. Now after that, I am closing your while loop and test function. So suppose in the question itself the values are given. So here you can see where the value of A equals to 4, means the value is already given, and the value of B is 17 passed to the function. So we are having the value with us. Don't take input from your side, because in case of output question, the values will be given, and on the basis of the values only you will have to evaluate the entire code. Clear? So as the value of A is 4 and B is 17, this value will be passed to the function and the value of A will become 4 and the value of B become 17. Now on the basis of these values only we will evaluate the entire expression. Clear? So now let's see the execution part of the code given below. So here you can see I have written the execution part. Okay, and we know the value of A is 4 and the value of B is 17. Now by taking these values we are going to execute this code. So here you can see I have written that the value of A is 4 and the value of AB is 17. Now put the value in the given loop. So what is the loop? While A is not equals to B. So yes, 4, the value of A is 4 and the value of B is 17. 4 is not equals to 17. So the condition is true. As the condition is true, the control will move inside the loop. The control will move inside the loop. Why? Because the condition is correct. So now what is written in the condition? That the value of A is greater than B. Is the value of A is greater than B? Tell me. So here is the value of A, that is 4, 4 greater than 17. The condition of the if block is false. As the condition of if block is false, we know that the control will automatically move to the else block. That's why I've written move to else block. So what is written in the else block? That is A equals to A minus B. A equals to A minus B. So what's the value of A? 4 and what's the value of B? 17. 4 minus 17 will be minus 13. Clear? Then we will print the value of A. So what is the value of A? That is minus 13 will be printed on the output screen and the control will move to the while loop. Clear? Now the value of A is changed. The value of A is changed. Previously it was 4 but now it became minus 13. But the value of B is still the same. There is no changes in case of value of B. Clear? Now we are going to work with another value. So now the value of A is minus 13. Is your minus 13 is not equals to B? Yes, the condition is true. As the condition is true, it will get inside the loop and will check the next condition. What is the value of A now? That is minus 13. Minus 13 is greater than 17. No, the condition is false. So, it will move to the else block. Clear? In the else block, it is again written subtract the value A minus B. So next time as the value of A is changed from 4, it became minus 13, minus 17. What will be the output in this case? We will receive minus 30. Clear? Minus minus plus, but we will get the sign of the larger value. So here the output is minus 30. Clear? Means again the value of A will be changed, that is it will become, now it will print minus 30. First it will print minus 13, then it will print minus 30. Clear? Again the control will move to the while loop. Why? Because still the condition is true. Now the value of A is changed from minus 30, it became minus 30. Clear? Now the value of B is 17. Now put the value in the given condition, it will become minus 30 is not equals to 17. Yes, this time also the condition is true. Now put the value over here, minus 30 is greater than 70. No, the condition is false. So where it will move? It will move to the else block. Again it will subtract the value. Means minus 30 minus 17. So here you can see that this loop will execute continuously. This loop will execute continuously because we are not going to get the value which where the value of A and B will be equivalent, because one is getting negative after each and every iteration and the another one is positive. Clear? So this particular program is going to generate infinite loops. This code will execute for infinite times. So now what you will write down the output? In the output segment you will write down infinite loop, or you can write down this loop will execute for infinite times. Why? Because every time the condition of the loop is satisfied, and we know that till the condition is satisfied the loop will continuously execute. Clear? So this was our first code, and the output of the following code is infinite loop. Clear? Okay. So now, next let's move to our next program or next code whose output we need to evaluate. Okay. So here's the code. I have declared one variable int p. Right now it does not contain any value. Now this question is regarding your nested loop. I have used two loops. Nested loop means loop inside another loop. The first one, int x equals to 1, x is less than equals to 3, x plus plus. Now let's simply put the value and let's do the execution and see the output of the code. So here is this. The value of x is 1, right? Now put the value in the given expression, that is 1 is less than equals to 3. Condition is true. The condition is true. As the condition is true, the control will move inside the another loop. Inside the loop and will execute the further loop. Clear? Now here let's check what is the value of y. The value of y is 1. Put the value in the given condition. 1 is less than equals to 2. The condition is true. Clear? As this condition is also true, so it will evaluate the following expression. So tell me, what is the value of x? The value of x is 1. Clear? The value of x is 1. And the value of y is also 1. So 1 into 1 will be 1. Clear? Then it will print the value of p. So what is the value of p? The value of p is 1. Here I am also mentioning the output part. Okay. So here as the value of p is 1, it will print 1. But one thing you have to notice that I have used print function, not print ln. Clear? So it will print 1 and the cursor will remain in the same line. Just after printing 1, the cursor will remain in the same line. Clear? Now the control will again move to the second loop, that's inner loop. Why? Why? Because the previous condition of this inner loop was right. So here we go. The value of y will be incremented. The value of y will be incremented because we have used increment operator. So the value of y will become 2. Now let's put the value in the given condition. 2 less than equals to 2. Clear? The value of y is modified to 2. The condition is again correct, satisfied. So it will get inside the loop and p equals to x into y. What is the value right now? What is the value of x? The value of x is 1. It's still the same, but the value of y is changed. So just write down 1 into 2. What will be the value? That is 2. Now the value of p will become 2 and it will print 2 just after beside 1. Just beside 1. Why? Because we have used print function. Clear? Now again the control will move to the inner loop because the previous condition was true. The value of y will be incremented to 3. Now put the value in the given condition, that is if 3 is less than equals to 2, the condition is false. The condition is false, means this loop will be terminated. This inner loop will be terminated and the control will move over here. What's written over here? System.out.println means now move the cursor to the next line. Print function will remain, put the cursor in the same line and it will move the cursor in the next line. Now the cursor will be indicating here. Clear? Means whatever the things going to be printed will be printed in the next line. Clear? After changing the cursor, the control will move to the outer loop. Clear? Now the value of x will be incremented. Previously it was 1, now it will become 2. Put the value in the given condition. 2 is less than equals to 3. Yes, the condition is correct. So it will get inside the inner loop and will reinitialize the value of y. It will again become 1. Clear? The y will become 1. Now, put the value in the given condition, that is 1 is less than 2. Yes, the condition is true. As the condition is true, it will get inside the loop and will do the operation. What is written over there? X into y. What is the value of x now? The value of x is 2 and the value of y is 1. Put the value in the given condition, in the given expression, 2 into 1, it will become 2. Clear? The value of p becomes 2 and will print the value of p, that is 2. Clear? Now, as the previous condition of y or inner loop was correct or satisfied. Clear? So what will happen? The value of y will be incremented. Previously it was 1, then it will become 2. Now put the value in the given condition, 2 less than equals to 2. Condition is true. Clear? Now put the value over here. 2 into 2 will become 4. The value of p will be modified. It will become 4 and will print the value of p, that is 4. Clear? Now again the control will move to the inner loop. This time the value of y will become 3. Previously 1, then 2, now it will become 3. 3 less than equals to 2. The condition is false. Means the control will move to the next segment out of the inner loop and will change the line. So what is written? Now the cursor will blink over here. Clear? Now, after changing the cursor, the control will move to the outer loop. Now, the value of x will be incremented to 3. Now, put the value in the given condition, that is 3 is less than equals to 3. Yes, the condition is satisfied. As the condition is satisfied, it will get inside the inner loop. Clear? Now, again the value of y will be reinitialized. It will become 1. Clear? The value of y will become 1. Now put the value in the given condition. 1 is less than equals to 2. Condition is true. As the condition is true, now put the value in the given expression, that is x into y. Clear? So what is the present value of x? You can see in the board that the present value of x is 3. Now 3, and what is the value of y? That is 1. Clear? Now 3 into 1 will be 3. Clear? So it will print 3. Now the value of y will be incremented from 1, it will become 2. 2 less than equals to 2, condition is again satisfied. Now put the value in the given condition, the value of x is 3 into 2. Clear? What will be the value now? 6. So it will print 6 in the same line. Why? Because we have used print function, not println. Again the control will move to the inner loop. Now it will become 3. 3 less than equals to 2. The condition is false. The control will move to the next line or outside of the inner loop and will change the cursor position. Now the cursor will blink in the next line and the control will move to the outer loop. Now see, the value of x will be incremented from 3, it will become 4. Now put the value in the given condition. 4 is less than equals to 3. The condition is false. As the condition of the outer loop is also not satisfied, this loop will terminate and will give you this output. So the final output of the following code will be this. Clear? But in the question, if it is asked to show the execution part also, then in that case you have to show the proper execution. Clear? So this is the output of the following code. Clear? So if you have any doubt regarding our question 1 and question 2, then you can comment below and can clear your doubts. Okay? So I hope that you like this video, and if you like this video then please like, comment and share our video as well as subscribe our YouTube channel. So in the next video we will discuss another topic regarding the output questions only, but with different questions. Okay, so please do practice the questions, and if you have any doubt you can clear it or can comment it, and then I will prepare video on that basis and will clear your doubts. Okay, so bye and take care of yourself.